Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Get your right pump, right fucking amp. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
I can feel it. Trying to get lyrics added to it.
Good, yeah.
Right there. Oh. All right, welcome back to another episode of On the Throne with Dick. And shout out to Senjin Boychuk for that incredible outro music. Find him everywhere on the socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go give him a follow, Senjin Boychuk. And on today's episode, we have a very special guest, Oilfield Dad Chad, the man behind the infamous Facebook group and, creator of that amazing app that I'm looking forward to playing at some point, Rig Kings.
Yeah. Well,
What's
thanks for
going
having
on,
me
bud?
on there. Appreciate it. It's been a long
Hell
time
yeah,
coming.
man.
I've been seeing your success here on the rise here, and I've been watching from afar and supporting you. So that's fantastic. I see where you're going. You're going to go on some big things here. So
I hope so, man. We're having a lot of fun. We're having amazing conversations and getting to experience interesting things. We just had the original Joe's advertisement, which was cool. It was a lot of fun, for them to reach out and get to hang out with my kids and my wife after a long month away. I come home and they're like, hey, let's make this video happen, and you can post it here for Father's Day. And so we did that, and it was a lot of fun, man. I had a good time out that night. It was really awkward though, showing up to Original Joe's and it was empty. And I was like, hey, we got a reservation. And she's like, oh, just sit wherever you want. I'm like, reservation for Dick, for Dick. And then she's like, oh, and then she's like, right over this way then. All right. So it was just really awkward saying reservation for Dick.
reservation for Dick, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because you've been saying you've been able to do a few of these promotional ads as far as even for what's a Booster Juice as well. And it's great that I see you come along here. Sponsorships coming out to support your podcast. That's fantastic. I'm really proud of you for building what you've gotten so far. So good on you.
Yeah, man. It's been a year and a half now. It's a lot of work, man. Working 100 hours a week, being a father, being a husband, being a content creator, and having the podcast. It's a lot of work, but hey, our plate is full, and we're definitely not going hungry. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of fun. So right. Yeah, and we got another sponsor coming on the podcast here very soon, Brasco Safety. We've been talking with them, get a discount code for my followers and for myself for PPE and whatnot, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to see where this goes. They say it usually takes, if you're not like a celebrity, right, it takes like a year and a half to 2 years to establish yourself and start getting sponsorship deals. So, and we're a year and a half in, and they're coming. So,
yeah, no, it's good. Just the main thing is obviously building, branding, and marketing yourself. So, as you've seen back when I started Oilfield Dads in 2015, we get back into how I started, and in the midst of an oil recession, turn depression, turn pandemic, it's one of those things that you got to reinvent yourself. You got to reinvest in yourself as a person, as who you are, because if you don't, you're going to be lost in the dust. So it's something that, like I say, I took kind of on a whim. For me starting Oilfield Dads back in 2015, it ended up I don't know, I worked in 2014, I worked 334 days, I believe that was, and it was a killer year. I was moneyed up, but with that comes sacrifices. I never did see a lot of my family, but it was a good year. But when the oil recession hit in 2015, I sat at home from, I don't know, maybe from January till March, and I was pretty happy to take that time off. Actually, my daughter was born in March of 2015, so I was happy to be home every night. I did take on a little job up in Rimbey there at a shutdown, and I was home every night, which is good. And then we decided to do one of what I think what everybody does and wants to do is take some time to go camping and really really take that time when you drive down the highway and you see them little waterfalls on the side of the road and you think, that's a little cool spot. We might stop at it next time. Well, we took that time and took the time to actually stop and took a day and really soak it in, because as you know, with us in oil and gas, you get maybe 2 weeks off or maybe 1 week off, and you cram in all you can do in that 1 week, as much as you can to get back to work. So it was a good time, but also as the end of the summer approached, I could feel there was something different than what it was back in 2008 recession, if you remember the global recession. I felt that it was a little different, so I started reaching out to a lot of my contacts to see, all right, it's time to go back to work. It's been 3-4 months, 5 months here with no income coming in, and not time to get back at it for the winter projects. But I found nothing, man. I found not a lot of anything, and engineers were gone, and Calgary was empty, as you know. It was a ghost town. And I was sitting there talking with my wife, and we thought of, well, how else am I going to reach out? Because all my contact list, as we know on our phones, every time you go to work, what's the first thing you do? You meet people, you network, and you network with them. You get their phone numbers, where you work from, where you've been, and what you're doing, and where you're going. And a lot of those contacts have dried up, and a lot of those phone numbers have been disconnected. And I was quite surreal at the time. So I figured I'd start this Facebook page, obviously Oilfield Dads, and it turned into quite, with friends and family joining, and then it started exploding. And from there, it was no turning back for me. I thought, well, it was something that was more than myself. It was about everybody, right? Camaraderie, trying to get people to go to work and finding out where things were, where the work was at. And a lot of what I found was a lot of people were in the same boat as I was second guessing yourself. Did I do wrong at work? Was I not good enough? What is there out there that I can do now? Because if you look at in the industry and the government side of things, they were talking about, well, Ontario had 6,500 automakers out of work, right? And it was devastating to them. But
yep,
the oil and gas sector here, they'd put us out to about, to say, 250,000 people out of work, but that was a false statement itself, because they're probably about 650,000 plus with the DPS contractors and such that cannot collect EI and whatnot. So it was a big hit to our economy and a big hit to our pride and ourselves as service provider, breadwinners, as you say, because it was the times that you could be away from work and your spouse or your partner could stay at home and either watch the kids and take the kids to the hockey and all these other activities. But now, it's a dual income again, and now the wife had to go back to work, and things had to tighten up. So, a lot of people had seen this growth of oilfield dads and thought it blowed up from nothing. But the truth of the matter is as it started gaining traction, I started to reach out to radio stations and TV stations and such, and once again networking, and that's how I was able to garner so much support and attention, I guess, because obviously, unfortunately, necessity breeds ingenuity, and with that being said, you end up taking advantage or the opportunity to use what's as a down to turn it into a positive. And that's something that's where I found you, actually, and you and part of my group there for many years, the supporting of it. And, it's been a roller coaster of a ride, and it was nothing that Oilfield Dads was not a big money maker. It was never supposed to be, but it was what it was supposed to be, was a big connector.
yep.
And what I learned through spending thousands upon thousands of dollars was investing in myself, taking into internet marketing and social media marketing and whatnot. I had a lot of people come to me wanting to utilize the audience to sell their affiliate marketings and such. Now, I'm very careful with that because I don't like selling people things that I'm not going to be able to sell myself. And I know with you and myself, if we're a man of integrity and honesty and transparency, accountability, I like to see myself as there's a lot of things in my life I've not done well, and the bad decisions, but we've all made those mistakes and learned from them. So when I put myself out there as Oilfield Dad Chad, a lot of people could relate to me. I'm just a regular guy, and I tell you, I had one individual. He was so star-stricken of who I was. He finally phoned me up, and he said it took him a month and a half to bump up the courage to give me a call because he didn't know how to talk to me. Until you start talking to a guy on the phone and say, "Hey, man, I'm just a regular one of you. Got bills to pay and sandwich grabbers to feed." And it's one of those things that I don't look at myself any different than anybody else, and I sure the hell don't put myself higher than anybody else. I actually look at myself on the lower side of things because I'm still learning, and this is something that a game that is evolving ever so fast, more than you can think from when I started in 2015 to now. The technology, the AI, that I used to email people and send out letters and stuff and whatnot, but now there's the AI content and stuff, and it's a scary, easy but also scary trick. I think
Yeah.
you can. I told my wife when I first started getting into this, as a funny thing, this is, if somebody says I did something, he's probably not true, but maybe he is. But you know what? Don't believe him that it is, because you can put yourself face on a goat and have him fucking something, right?
It's crazy AI, man. It's crazy scary, dude. Like you can make anything up and look real.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, look at what they did with Donald Trump and Biden, all the raps and stuff, and you can also make the connection from somebody's voice right now and have them have a conversation, and as if and it's scary because I was talking to an individual here a couple months ago, and they got involved with a scam, and it was part of so many people get involved with scams because of the nature of where we're at in our economy. But the AI generation is saying this is so and so, right? And they thought it was them, right? And it's scary. I don't know if you ever watched the Sound of the Bird of Freedom or something. At the
Sound of Freedom. Yep.
Sound of Freedom. So the beginning there's a girl that was talking. It was not even them. So it gets scary in a way, but also it makes you start thinking, and you really got to watch these ads now if these voices from these people are actually them talking, because it sounds like I'm in the wait a minute, their mouths are not matching up here. So it's nothing but a scam. But
They'll
getting
fix
back,
that.
they will for
fix
sure.
that so the mouths match up, and you won't even be able to tell the difference then either.
Then you got to really start thinking, well, did Justin Bieber say come and play Plinko, to make some cash? No, I don't think so. But the thing is you look at where we're at in a society and how we're trying to get people in to buy in on things. So as I started marketing myself as Oilfield Dad, you really got to understand something that we were bred into when we were kids, is that we learned how to sell. If you ever know, if your kids go door to door selling Girl Guide cookies or jump rope for heart, hell, when I was back in my younger days, we were selling, the Chatelaine magazines, going door to door. A lot of these kids would not. These kids, or even the kids that come around now, they're trying to get your bottles for hawking stuff. How many times you're saving your last bottles and you don't really want to give them away, or you don't have them. But how many kids come to your door and you say no, they get discouraged and then they just want to quit. But then you can turn that mindset around that, hey, you're not going for how many yeses, you're going for how many no's. How many no's how many doors am I going to get shut in my face before I get that one that gets a mother load? I got a big bag of bottles, or
Yep.
It's one of those things that you have to flip that mindset. And I told everybody that the moment you wake up in the morning, you sell yourself on how you're going to act, what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat. And hell, I had to sell myself to my wife to get her to like, to get her to marry me. Right. So and as a human, right, if you come to work and you're negative and whatnot, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to push off that negativity and think that guy's
got to sell your boss at why you should be here working.
100%. Right? You can douse them with brilliance, or you can douse them with bullshit. So
either way, there's both kinds of people on the job site.
100%.
Yeah.
So the funny thing, when I started selling the idea of Oilfield Dads and whatnot, and people come to me for affiliate marketing. Well, it was some people want to sell, water, Kangen water, which is a pH level of 7+, I think it is. And it's a great product, but the thing is a lot of these want to sell you up a coaching call of $100. Let's book you an appointment for a coaching call, $100 gets you in. But and I try to put the analogy of this is that, okay, I had a group full of people, oilfield dads. Well, we're all broke. We're in a recession here. So what the hell are we supposed to be doing? I'm not going to sell you, Dick, the opportunity to get rich online on a 99% automated, system for $100, and you can quit your job. Well, you don't even have a job, in the last $100 you might have to feed your home, your family with, right?
Yep.
I put a video out of me bringing back my truck. I had a 2016 F350 Platinum, and it was one of those where I was out of a job and I didn't know where I was going to go next. And I had a lot of feedback in the group, a lot of people losing their families, losing their house, losing their lives, committing suicide because they didn't know how to build or keep on to what they had. And I said, hey, man, I'm not any different than anybody else. I said, if you got to take that truck back to the bank, take it back. You can get a new truck the next day. You can go rent a truck. You can borrow a truck. You can do whatever it is. You can buy an older truck. So don't hold on to that big $1,500 payment or whatever. It's either your roof over the head or the vehicle that you can borrow to drive to go to work once you get it.
Yeah.
So my philosophy was trying to teach people and get them in a different mindset of positivity. And I made some great videos along the way of that support and the big analogy is if I were to sell you, if I had a gym, Dick, and I said, hey, it's going to cost you $100 to join my gym. And in 6 months, you're going to get fit and in shape. You're going to think, well, Chad, you know what? You got a nice gym here. It's all brand new equipment. That's pretty good. Pretty good deal. $100 for 6 months. I'll buy in on that, Chad. I'll say, but no, wait, Dick, I don't want your money. I want you first. I want you to buy the meal plan. That's $600. I want you to buy the trainer for $700. I want you to buy the supplements and vitamins for $350, and I want you to get your ass here every single day for 6 days a week. That costs you gas too. Now you're not just looking at the $100 initial investment. You're looking at about $2,500 plus, right?
Yep.
Wow, that's a little bit too much out of my, well, then that's not the commitment that I want for it. Obviously you're not going to get in here, and I can't guarantee you be in shape in 6 months, right? So that's a problem that I had with affiliate marketers, is that they would not tell you the truth off the get-gate. And that's what my problem was. That is, like, I'd like to be upfront with people. Hey, man, some people might kick it out of the park, right? There's people that sell Tupperware. There's people that sell iced Eskimos. There's people that sell anything to anybody for the reasons of selling it. And yes, you can have that mindset. Well, you know what? You're an adult. You can buy, you knew what you're getting into, even if you didn't know it was $100. So them guys are the ones that make it, is because the old saying is, I'll tell you how to be a millionaire. Just give me $1. And you'll get that money in, because they'll step on your throat and take that $100, regardless if that was the last $100 or not. And I'm a different guy. I don't like to see the guy's last $100, because I've been in that last $100, and I've been in a position of what should I invest in here just for a quick buck? And I've done that. I've got into that Bitcoin stuff, and I lost over $50,000 because of a scam. And it just something so pisses you off. It's like, how can people screw you over? How is it on the internet where we can't be, real with each other and talk about, and actually, what is this month? Is men's health, a mental health month.
Men's mental health. Yep.
So, a lot of guys go through a lot of shit, and just because, what I've built and what I've done, there's many a times there, Dick, I've been in bed there and I can't even get out of bed for the sake of getting up, because I can't face the world today. And it's not the reasons because I'm weak or, I can't, but, I can't deal with it. It messes with you, man. You see some people are doing really good and you're like, man, what the hell am I doing wrong here, man? I've been at this for a long, long time, but why is it you got to stop with the glittery ball syndrome of this over here and this over this and this over here? Stay the course and steady, in which I've done. But also, you evolve over time as well. You end up, your business model comes, as they say, maybe a square, but over time it turns into a hexagon with a bat, whatever. It evolves by what people want and what they
Yep.
ask from you. Just from your podcast here, you've had a lot of great personnel come on here and talk about different things in life and whatnot, and this is what continues to make your podcast grow stronger, is the diversity of what you bring on for people, what they want to hear. Some people might want to listen to me rattle on for a bit, some people might want to listen to something else, but the thing is, it might gain some attention. It might some value for somebody out there that's going through, well, shit, man, this guy's actually pretty cool cat here. Look at this guy, makes jokes on a hydrovac there and sitting in a John, and talking about, what the bot pooping on company time, man. It's a laugh. Sometimes we need laughter in what we're doing and not be so damn serious, right? So.
Yep, absolutely, man. And that's why it started for me, right? The mental health thing, right? And I was down, I was out, I needed to laugh. I turned to the internet to look for funny videos, and then I'm like, I need to make the ones that I find funny, right? So
Yeah.
I started making stuff that I found funny, and it turned out other people also found it funny, and it related to a lot of people in the industry. So, and it's just snowballed from there, right? It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's just finding that niche, right? Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of comedians on there that have their different takes on stuff. There's Danger Cats, and there's LJ Musqua, Super. There's a lot of different cats out there that have their own little different kind of comedic skits and stuff. And with me, I'd sit back and I smile and I laugh. I like them, but in a sense, I could not do that because I've already branded myself in a different way of what I'm trying to do. But would not say that I couldn't change that way. But once you hone in on your niche, well, then that's what you got. And if you find strike gold, well, then you hit her hard, and that's what you're doing. So, it's
yeah,
it's something that with Oilfield Dads, I built it, branded it, and I marketed myself. I built websites. I do, like I said, I invest in myself, and every time there's a downturn, I invest more money into myself to learning a different skill, how to build websites, how to do this, how to do that, and social media marketing and whatnot. But with that, it comes with a lot of money too.
Yep.
And when you're trying to garner sponsorship in a recession turned depression turned pandemic, well, there's not much money to be squeaked at. I went down to an oil and gas show down in Calgary. I was the only booth there promoting online advertising. The only one. What they had, everybody down there had their 400,000, their $1 million freaking pieces of equipment. And how much did they spend in a 4-day span at the oil and gas show to rummage up some clients? And the amount of times you take people out smoozing, and man, I was thinking, what, this is insane. What you ask these guys, what are you paying a salesman? What is your budget for the rest of the year? Could you tell me if you would have put, at least 60,000, 100,000 in online advertising with the right person that has the niche in the audience right now, you'd blow up, So
Yep.
it's one of those, and you have to convince them of that as well. And a lot of people are in that mindset of they want it now. If they don't see it now, and with the internet marketing, social media marketing, you have to find, so somebody wanted to advertise with Oilfield Dads, okay, or Rig Kings, well, I don't know your business. So you have to have your own website. You have to have your own Facebook page. You have to have started building and branding yourself. And then because you have no audience, well, I can reshare your stuff to my audience to make it blow up more, right? Just the same as yourself. And that way it catches the traction. All you need is that one viral video. For crying out loud, we just seen it on the freaking, look at these super fans for the Oilers. I don't know if you see me on the Oilers games a lot.
I see you on the Oilers all the time, buddy. On the commercials when they're making the intros where they're like looking to pump people up, getting ready for the intro. You're just like, right? And I see you all the time, man, on the intros, and I see you, Superfan Magoo. I see, dude, I see you all the time, man. You got a brother that looks like you, don't you?
Well, he's not a brother of mine. That's what's funny is the thing is we wear the same kind of glasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's from Strathmore. His name is Trevor Von Wheel, and he's they call him McMullet, and he has the mullet and the colored hair. So I usually sit down right beside him because he's got season tickets, and I have season seats as well. But I usually sell those and buy the seat beside him, so that way we're on TV and we feed the camera guy licorice, so that way every time he turns around he sees us. So It's kind of funny as I was
That's
watching on
awesome.
TikTok. I was watching on TikTok here yesterday, and it was blowing me away. This guy has one over in, where the hell was it in? It was in Ontario, I think, and he had ended up posting a video of a man cave that is freaking out. That is insane. I want to show you this. Right, you'll see this. Nice freaking man cave, right?
That's pretty nice. Yeah. Wow.
But look at
Wow.
what he's got on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
he's got me on there, right? Me and Cooper Fan and McMullen, right? So
Yeah.
my kids are like laughing. It's like, man, you're on TV all the time. It's no matter where you go. I said, I'm on TikTok, and I was just a face. So that is my guilty pleasure. I go to the games and I feed the guy licorice, and I get on TV because they're big moments. And hey, I'm
Hey,
still there, but
next year, next season, when the Leafs come to town, you and me, we gotta go. You buy
yeah.
that seat next year. I will I'll chip in.
Oh,
I
for sure.
want to. I man, for a long time, I didn't. I didn't miss a game between the Leafs and the Oilers for a long time. Pandemic comes, and I haven't been to one since. Right, and it's like, oh man, I love going to the Leaf games. Man, they're a lot of fun, a lot of energy when they're in Edmonton. Right, so
Yeah, yeah, I'd be awesome to have you come along. I know it's you know what, the experience to come to a game is surreal, and it's fun. It is expensive, but you know what, the things that a guy does, leading living a sober life. If you don't drink or do alcohol or drugs or anything, you can put some little cash aside to have your little guilty pleasure, your vice of going to a game. So I know a lot of guys
yep,
say you must be rich to go to these games. Well, no, it costs a lot of money, but it's just like anything. If you enjoy going to the movies once a month or more than that, I guess it's something that you put your mind to, you're going to make it happen anyways. So, but
you're a consultant, aren't you?
I am a consultant. I'm an oil and gas consultant, but I'm also a pipe fitter
Yeah,
as well, and a heavy equipment
yeah,
operator. So that's what I mean when I invest in myself. I wear many different hats. If I'm not consulting right now, it's pretty slow for consulting. Since the TMX and the Coastal GasLink are all been done up, a lot of these consultants are looking for work. And TC Energy doesn't have any big jobs on the go here right now. So the last I was working for a company doing some pipeline abandonments and discontinuations here this before Christmas, and they had to readjust their new year budget of what they had to do and whatnot. So it's once again sitting. So I jumped on some fall back on my pipe fitting ticket. And that's when it comes back to always adapting it and being diverse. When I talked about the 6,500 automakers that went out of work, they didn't know nothing because that's all they knew how to do. And if you don't diversify yourself, figure if I can't go back to school and educate myself and do something different, well then how can I feel sorry for that person for not going to work or not finding work? Right now,
yeah.
there is a lot of work out there, and this is coming down the pipes, but you got to be able to find it. You got to be able to market yourself to that,
Absolutely.
and
Well,
if you don't,
that's why
yeah,
I do this, right? I'm on the road crew right now, right? I come here in the summertime. It started during that 2014, 2015 downturn, right? Where
yeah,
I put all my eggs in one basket when I joined the oil field, right? It was like, boom, let's go. We're all in, right?
yeah,
But like 2014, 2015, and the years succeeding that taught us, hey, it's time to invest. It's time to invest in yourself. Time to put your eggs in many baskets because this
yeah,
shit is not fun, right? And so like when you get laid off and you're looking for work and you can't feed the family, So I found a job on the road crew and building roads and here I am. I come back every summer, regardless of how the patch is doing. It's busy as fuck. Regardless of that,
yeah,
I come back here. I stand my ground with my boss in the patch. I'm like, hey, one day this won't be here for me, right? Like one day we're gonna slow down and it will come. Like it always does. It's feast or famine, and right now we're
yeah,
feasting. But like one day we're all gonna be in famine again, and I continue on what I got here. I run equipment. I'm moving up the ladder fairly decently, and
yeah,
so like I come here. I make more money in 4 months, anyways, when I'm here than I do the rest of the year, right? So I come here, I diversify myself, and then I go back to the patch where I'm
yeah,
happier there than I am here. But like,
yeah,
I need to do this for my future, and then, of course, speaking of diversifying, putting your eggs in more than one basket, then there's the internet. I've started making money off the internet, which has helped me pay my bills, which has helped me, discover new things about myself that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Right. And then, okay, well, we're all trying to figure out how this thing works, and it's always changing, right? The internet, the social media game's always changing with the algorithms. So, you know, I never know when I'm going to log in on TikTok, go live, and someone's going to come in. Like last year, someone came in and dropped $2,000 in my bank account to shave my mustache. Like, here,
Right.
fucking $2,000, man. Like, here's $2,000.
Wow.
Shave your mustache right now on live. Do it. I'll drop $2,000. I got the money first, and then I shaved it. Right? I'm like, $2,000. Fucking yeah, you paid my bills for the month. Fuck yeah.
What else
You
you
know,
want?
like, yeah. Hey, well, that's another story. There was a gay guy this past winter who messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hey, if I gave you $100, will you make some videos for my personal collection?" And I'm like, "What kind of videos?" He's like, "I need you to moan my name. I need you to play with it. I need you to he wanted me to play with myself in a porta potty and in a crew truck and in the work trucks, and I had to moan his name." And I'm like, "Not for $100, but $1,000. Then we're talking, right?" And I just didn't think he would. And then he's like, "Well, $1,000 is a lot, but okay." Right. And he sent me $1,000 with a $400 tip.
No fucking way.
So he sent me $1,400. And all I had to do, dude, I'm telling you, man, like, the internet's a wild. I got a new dishwasher out of it. And then, other things that have happened. I just bought a new couch, man. You know what I mean? Like, man, the internet is a wild place.
Well,
man.
that's just what it is.
It's crazy, dude. You never know when you're gonna log in and see one of those messages, right?
Yeah, well, there you go. It's just print and go. We'll just look at that now. Now all these super fans that we see of Oilers, that one girl flashes her tits once, and she's from Beaver Lodge, is what I heard. And a buddy of mine, he had actually took that video. So a buddy of mine's buddy had took that video at the game, and I guess she had to delete all her accounts for suspended for now because she's getting too much, blast from it. But also, I guess I heard a porn site was offering $100,000 to help me sign up. Like, holy shit! All of us super fans,
take that and run.
Why wouldn't you? $100,000 to sign up to a porn site.
Go buy yourself a new car. Go pay off bills. Go put a down payment on another house. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
fucking go do it.
That they're self-preserved, while what if it gets out there that I'm playing with myself, man. I was watching ones where the FBI and the chimpanzees, like,
yeah.
FBI skin, what do you want to see me jerk off? Go ahead.
Fucking Ben, I'm already playing with it for free. If you're gonna offer me money, I'm taking it, But like so people were asking me that too when I sent them the video. They're like, well, what if he shows people and your face is in it? Fucking free advertising, I guess, show your buddies, get all your buddies on board. I asked him, I'm like, hey man, you got any more buddies? And he sends me a picture. It was during the Super Bowl. And he sends me a picture of like 10 or 15 of his buddies all watching the game, and they're all gay guys, right? And he's like, yeah, I got lots. And they'd like videos too, right? And he's and like we're all hanging out watching the Super Bowl, but we're not watching it for the football. I'm like, oh shit, they're watching the dudes' asses and shit. Like picture a room full of gay dudes like watching Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes shake their ass while they're playing football, right? And they're like, they're not there for the sport, man. They're there for the men on TV. They're having their own Super Bowl party, but for a different reason.
Yeah. Well, I watch wrestling, but it ain't for that either, though.
I never understood wrestling. Why do dudes who wear no pants wrestle for a belt?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. It's just growing up watching Hulk Hogan. He was. I had to eat my vitamins and say my prayers, and I cried when he fucking lost to the Ultimate Warrior, and I was stuck on a freaking wrestling. And I just watching this. Yeah. It's a big drama, anyways. The stories, but sometimes it's like fuck. I haven't watched it for a while because I don't have cable anymore. I just have the apps and stuff. But it's I want to go to a WrestleMania, and I know it's fake, and I know it's this fun. But hell, they go through a lot of shit, man. Tell me, Mankind back in the Attitude Era, that's fucking the shit. The Rock, that was the good stuff. storyline, and everybody wanted to be a wrestler.
trying to get Stone Cold on my podcast right now.
Well, that'd be
So Stone Cold liked one of my videos on Instagram.
good.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, no way. This is the actual Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right. And I'm like, fuck. So now I'm like, I have notifications set when he posts or goes live. And I'm right there. I'm like, hey, I want to be first in line. So you see my comment. Hey, man, come on my podcast. I know someone that knows him, like they're friends. She was on my podcast this past winter. And she's like, I can just message him for you. I'm like, no. I want him to come on because he likes me. I want him to come on for me, not because he knows you, right?
Yeah.
And so like we're gonna get that. We're gonna get him. I have a feeling. But right now, my ultimate guest is Mike Rowe. I'm trying to get Mike Rowe on, and that's 100%. Yeah.
What about Joe Rogan?
Yeah, man.
Joe
Rogan won't come on my podcast.
Oh, come on. No.
He won't come on. He won't come on my podcast. He's got his own thing going on.
Get one on. Get an AI thing of Joe Rogan. Hey, he's coming. I know.
I could. I did get Santa Claus this past year. Could get Joe Rogan. Maybe we'll go for Joe Rogan. Fuck it.
There you go. Fuck it, eh?
So Oilfield Dads, man. Yeah, let's talk about how amazing this group has been for me, dude. Like, I joined that thing back, like, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago now. 6, 7, 8. One of those 6, 7, 8 years ago. One in between there somewhere, I joined it, right? And fuck, man, like, I joined it because, I wasn't even an oil field dad yet, right? But like, I liked what you stood for, and I liked, just oil field Facebook groups. I was there for it. I liked the logo and everything like that. And I appreciated it, but it wasn't until my oldest daughter was born that I was like, hey, I get it now. Oil field dads, man. Like, it's a brotherhood, but the page, dude, like, I seen a lot of good shit in there, and a lot of good people coming together for the common good, and then, when I started the Dick Frost thing, I started posting my videos in there for other people to laugh at in there too. Right. And man, it's been one hell of a ride. That's for sure, man. And I absolutely love that group. I still post in there, whenever I post on Facebook, if I get the chance, if I remember, sometimes I just upload and I walk away. But if I stick around, or I'll come back later, then I'll upload, and then I will post it in there too right away. Like, I'll share it to the group. But eventually, like, if I don't do it right away, I usually come back a couple days later and I do it. So yeah.
The thing is, like, I got you on auto approve, so I don't have to. Like, I have to approve every post that goes in there. Still do, but there's still some people that want to post political stuff, and that was something that I was dead against. Was posting political stuff. And like you say, there's a lot of other oil field groups out there. There was, oil field confessions, oil field trash, and they're funny, they're but it's also a cliche because it got them, the white sunglasses, the beater shirts, and the jacked up trucks there, and they're just talking trash. It's okay. That's their genre. That's their shtick. But Oilfield Dad's is special in a way. It's meant to post your family and, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what it's all worth for. And I was a part of helping us rebuild ourselves as a community. And I got to admit, it's been more of a dormant state here as of late. And I felt that mostly on my part, because I've had to shift gears and to pursue Rig Kings is what I've been building. But also, I got into politics. And the thing that I didn't want to be posting into my page, I got into politics, and to dive into that a little bit was I actually ran to become an MLA in Sylvan Lake 2019, and the only reason why I ran was because an individual by the name of Derek Fildebrandt, he was an independent off of the UCP or the Progressive Conservatives there, PC in Alberta here. He had reached out to me because he's seen obviously my exposure, and he wanted to know if I'd be able to join his party called the Freedom Conservative Party. And I said, all right, I'll give it a go. And I was actually on a road crew up in Grand Cache running a hoe, and I only had 2 weeks to prepare, right? So I went, got off work and come back, and I seen all these signs in the ditches and big, huge 4x6 or 8 sheets of candidates. So I put myself out there as this, as a Freedom Conservative, as an independent, a separatist. because everybody I think is all tired of Trudeau's reign. So I think if I'm a separatist, as I'll put it out there, is that I would let us of Alberta become separate from Canada, just like Quebec is a nation inside of Canada, as they say. So we can collect our own taxes, we can collect, our own police force and all that kind of stuff. We have the means to do it. So, anyways, I got 365 votes within 2 weeks, and it was pretty good. But obviously, I couldn't win against Devin Durishan. He was a bigger, obviously, candidate. But also, they had a by-election a year before for I think it's a McIntyre guy. Some individual, he was caught being an idiot or something in the political world, so they had to get rid of him.
No way, that happens.
Mad, I don't know, right? You got to be. The weirdest thing is the cleanest of politicians are the most corrupt, right? Because you can't do nothing wrong in to become a politician. Because if you do something wrong, somebody will expose it, and then you're out, right? It's like, so you're telling me that you can't go to a party, or you're having some drinks. I'm not condoning this, but if you go out with you go with a lady into a back room and you're drunk, and all of a sudden, 20 years down the road, just like in the States there, you got caught, or she said she didn't like it, and then your career's fucked, right? You're like, that's if you want to get into politics, you better be squeaky clean and don't do anything. Don't do any drugs. Don't do nothing. And then, do you really want to trust a person that hasn't done any of that? Probably not.
No. Ralph Klein, man. Ralph Klein
Right?
and Rob Ford,
Yeah, right. He
Rob
can smoke
Ford and
crap,
Ralph
right?
Klein, man.
I'd trust Ralph
Yeah.
Klein, and Doug Ford, for doing what they were doing. But so I got into the politic game, and when I didn't win that seat, I said, all right. So I was big into the social media and building websites and stuff. So I helped. We merged with the We Exit Alberta group, because that was the time when the Yellow Vest movement was going on, right, in the
Yep.
Europe and whatnot. And then we had the convoy to Ottawa, and I was a big part of that, helping organize it. But it got to the point where it was Canada Action, Oilfield Dads, and another group, Oil Sands Strongs, were coming together. We were going to go to Ottawa, but there were some individuals that were part of the Yellow Vest movement that wanted to come and join on with us, and they didn't want to be part of that, so we backed away. And it's not something that I wanted to move forward with without Canada Action and whatnot, because we started it, and with everybody thinking, because you were a yellow vester, you were a far right extremist, and I had to distance myself and try to navigate this political bullshit of who I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to stand for. So I just opted to back off and let that go. And they did the convoy, and it was a big success. But we merged with the We Exit Alberta group, and then we formed the Wild Rose Independence Party. And I built the website, the logos, the social media, and I was their VP of membership and communications and whatnot. And anyways, we every night was a Zoom call. We had meetings upon meetings upon meetings. And that's what kept me busy at night, but also kept me motivated, because I thought what I was doing was helping us as a community, as a province. That, I'm sick and tired of those politicians telling you that they know how you feel. Well, no, they don't know how you feel, because they get a salary every fucking month. I said, you don't know that you're jerking the dog off to feed the cat, or scraping the putty out of the window seals, to eat. That's the reality of it is that you fighting for something, and these people act like they know what you're going through, and they don't. So I thought, well, shit, I'll make a stand. I'll use my clout, so I thought, the oilfield dads and whatnot, to get into this. Well, what I learned quickly was it is a game that none of us that don't have that kind of cash should be getting into, because no matter what you try to build, the corrupt and the backdoor deals is just the same. And it's just as almost like a school group. You got a faction or a pact. The controlling board decided this, and we had people dropping off the board. And this, now I can talk about this now, because I was actually in a lawsuit. These guys sued me, and it cost me over $250,000. And it drained my bank account, man. It drained me hard. They sued me for trying to take over the party, so they said. Now, what happened was the provincial board was made up of 18 board members, and we are all working in different committees to help with policy and governance and with membership and everything else and blah blah blah. Now, once we found out that people were acting not the right way, a lot of these board members were dropping off due to lack of transparency and accountability and and integrity. And that's something that I stand for. And with me, I'd built this whole thing on my end of things, and I was holding the keys to the castle, and they knew it. Because I could shut the website down, I could shut the social media, I could post whatever the hell I wanted, and I was the only one that was able to post anything because I had built this as I was trying to maneuver this thing up. So when 9 of these individuals had resigned, the constituency associations that we have all across Alberta, 82 of them, right? The board members for their constituency associations were starting to question what the fuck is going on. Well, I couldn't give them any answers because it wasn't my thing yet, right? And was my take. But an individual that was part of the policy and governance, he had wrote in the bylaws that said if the president of the party is not willing to act in the best interest of the membership or the party, the vice president of membership will supersede him and call a special members assembly to call the special members assembly so that way we can vote on a new board of directors. Because it got into that far where we only had 8 left, or 8 or 9 left, and there was a controlling board of 6. And I'd begged and pleaded with the president of the party, saying, "Hey, we gotta call the special members assembly. Otherwise, if you don't, then this is an AGM, an annual general meeting, right? And they have them every year." He said, no. And finally, I said, well, this is something that you're not doing for the best interest of the party and the membership. So I'm the one that's calling everybody, and now I'm the one that's getting flack of what the hell's going on. So I had put an email out to the membership and let them know that we're going to have this. Well, I went to the board meeting and I told them that I will become the president, the interim president for now until we have the board meeting or this new directors board of directors vote. Well, they lost their shit. They ended up voting among themselves to use the membership money to hire a high-class lawyer to sue me for hijacking the party. Well, who the fuck gets sued by a political party? Me. Could you imagine getting sued by like when you think of political party, you think of the UCP right now or the NDP. Like if you have an organization that has big, heavy donors, millions of dollars, and they're suing me, not them, but the Wild Rose Independence Party, we didn't have that kind of cash, but we had enough cash there that they threw me into a pickle, and they were able to hack my computer and hack my shit. Now you think that shit is only in the movies? Well, obviously, there's always hackers. Hell, I'm always getting freaking emails right now that you've been caught on some nefarious porn site, and you got to send me Bitcoin, otherwise we're gonna send it to all your contacts and blah blah blah. I'm like, if you don't, we're not fucking around. So you're always getting these spam emails, but these guys had actually hacked my shit, and they tried to blackmail me, and I said that ain't gonna happen, and I come clean on a lot of things in my personal life with some people, but that's for a different story, and that's my own business. But it was nothing that was terrible. But it was like, you ain't gonna have me over a barrel. But however, what they did do, besides trying to blackmail me, which unsuccessfully worked because there was nothing that they had on me that nobody would give a shit about, is that they drained me. They drained my bank account and lawyer fees and costs, and it ended up where I had to really step back from social media for a while because it was like, holy shit, who the hell gets sued by a political party, right? What the hell did I ever do besides trying to make things right? So I ended up getting involved with the de factos of the party, of the board of directors, and we built this Alberta Unity project. Once again, I built, branded, and marketed this. And I had mentioned these guys. This is in the midst of COVID now, right? Now, so I was working on Trans Mountain Pipeline in 2021, and that's when this all went down. I think it was about June 8th. 2021 was when I got sued, by the political party. And then it was over the summer. I had a bunch of people that were helping with the cost of the lawyers because they felt like shit, this was not right, which I'm very grateful for. They ended up coming on board and they wanted me to build Alberta Unity Project. And Alberta Unity Project was an educational society. Now, when we talk about politics, we talk about, okay, well, who you voting for? Well, is it Trudeau or Poilievre? Well, you're not voting for them.
Nope, they're not in your riding.
They're not in your fucking riding. So when you even look at Alberta, I'm voting for Kenny or Rachel Notley, you're not voting for Kenny. You're voting for your MLA. And who the hell's in your MLA? Devin Durishan, or wherever. So you got to understand, you're not voting for a lot of these people that are voters. They don't understand politics. I don't like this. They're what they're doing. So I'm going to vote the other ones, or I'm going to vote red, or I'm going to vote blue. I don't like that guy's name because I can't pronounce it. They don't have a goddamn clue. You know what I mean? So it's like, so what are they doing? So the educational society was to educate people on the merits of not left or right, black or yellow or white or blue, or, it was about understanding who are you voting for. And I can't call up Jason Kenney or Danielle Smith now. I'd have to call up my MLA here if I have an issue. And a lot of them times they're party whips, right? So the politics game is a snake's nest. And it's the lesser of both evils, if whatever. But the thing about it is that I truly believe is that I am a separatist, and for us to separate from Canada to become our own nation inside of Canada, because I know that we can manage ourselves better than Trudeau has been spending his money and all of our money on everything else and trying to tax us to death. So carbon tax and the social license. I was on the National when I called out Rachel Notley when she was trying to get us the carbon tax, so social license, so we can have the TMX come through. I'm like, never once did you ever stand up for us in the oil and gas industry. Well, you bought tankers and tankers. Well, pipelines are the best way to, put pipe or oil through, and you're buying oil tankers and we're having oil tankers up. You know what I mean? And with this COVID, what happened is they did a great job of pitting us against vaccinated and non-vaccinated. Well, they smoke and mirrored and did what they did with the government in the background. You couldn't even go out and have a freaking drink.
I was listening to I was listening to Real AF. I was listening to the Real AF podcast yesterday with Andy Frisella, and they played like a 5-minute long clip of they were like, yeah, man, they pitted the anti-vaxxers versus up against the vaccinated. And they're like, and someone was like, well, no, they didn't. And then they played like all these advertisements and all these clips from the news and the media and politicians over the last couple of years. And it's like the governments were like, hey, you cannot get on a plane or a train or anything like this or go to work if you're unvaccinated. Do you know how many death threats the unvaccinated got from the vaccinated? Like the unvaccinated were blamed for like, oh, you're killing people. You're killing people. Well, now Dr. Fauci's on fucking trial. And the other day he said he completely made up the 6 foot apart rule and the masking rule. They were just going as they went. They didn't know how many people didn't have the chance to say goodbye to friends and family and loved ones when they were dying because 6 feet apart. How many people got fined because they were hanging out with people? Meanwhile, the politicians made this shit up. They had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
No, exactly. It's all population. It's all people control, population control. A lot of families were like I don't talk to a lot of my family anymore because of the views on that. They pitted us against each other, and a lot of families were lost stupidly. We couldn't go visit a family member over in BC because the grandma and grandpa are 90-some years old, and and they're vaccinated, but I'm not vaccinated. I refuse, my whole family, and I said it will blow over, and it will blow over, and I ended up losing a relationship between me and my mother because of my eldest. She's 8, she's 21 here this year, but she ended up getting vaccinated because she was living with her mother and her grandmother. So it was kind of one of them things that helped protect. And she's of age, so she could make her own mind up. I'm not saying that to any of the viewers that, hey, I'm against her for it. If it makes you feel happy, it makes you feel comfortable, makes you, live your life the way you want to, go ahead. I'm not an anti or for. I just know in my choice in my life was I'm not. I've ate fucking boogers. I freaking ate, I've ate a lot of shit in my life where I tell you what, if I get it and I die, then I die, right? But I didn't buy into that propaganda of what it was. If I was sick, and just like anybody, if you're sick, stay the fuck home. You know what I mean? Don't go out. And unfortunately, what did the government do? Is they gave everybody COVID bucks, and then they assimilated people coming into to all over the world to mass migration from northern freaking state USA, North or New York, come up as as refugees. And then what they do? They shipped them all over the provinces and said, "Hey, remember that you know what is a very smart move, but the Liberals did just the same as Ralph Klein did when he balanced the budget back in '96." Is that he gave everybody, man, woman, and child, $400 Ralph bucks. And I remember getting Ralph bucks for the government. It's giving me $400. And I'm like, what the fuck is this for? Because we balanced the budget. This is for us. Well, fuck, I don't know this man, but I'll vote for him. Exactly it. So what did Trudeau do and the Liberals do? Here's your COVID bucks, and we're going to ship you across the country and put you in these cities that don't have work anymore, but we're going to put you up in hotels and all that stuff. The government's going to pay for it. I mean, not the government, us people will pay for it.
Yeah.
The taxes. And then we'll end up telling you when it comes to voting time, remember who fucking gave you the money.
Well, I know what's funny about that. Most of those people that he brought in don't have the same views as him, right? Yeah. And you wonder why in 2021 he said he wouldn't call an election while we were still in a global pandemic, right? While we were still in the pandemic. And what did he do in 2021? He called the election. You know why he called the election? Because of the Chinese interference, right? Yeah. He knew it was coming out, and he knew, shit, here we go, right? So he called the election before that could come out, and then he won. So he got to cover it up a little bit longer. And then, just this past fucking winter here, it came out, right? It came out. Yeah. Why? What have we been doing for the last 3 years? Here we are.
I know, and just for entertainment purposes only is not factitious or factual, because I know we might get canceled or some bullshit. But I don't know if you can cancel us or not. But anyways, our views are our views and our opinions are our opinion. If you can't have free speech, then what is it? They're trying to. You know what I found too is that quite refreshing is like on Facebook you don't see any media or news. That's one of the best fucking things I noticed too. Is like shit, I don't see it, but I can see it on other outlets. But I'm like, fuck, this is kind of cool.
Well, Google, Facebook are signing $100 million deal here right now to start putting the news back on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Because it was heavy into propaganda, and then I noticed I don't see a lot of anything there now anymore. So go, but all I see
is there was a deal there that expired or whatever. They had to pay a bunch of money, and they refused to pay the money. So they're like, nope. So they weren't allowed to spread. Like you don't see any on Instagram, Facebook. You can't even share a news link on Facebook right now. They'll tell you no, you're not allowed. Right, yeah. It's coming back though. Google and Facebook are in $100 million deal talk right now.
Well, it's here and there, but the ability to voice your opinion you should be able to voice it and not get chastised or told that you're an ass or you're ignorant and death threats. I don't care. I'm a guy that's a realist, and I had my family just wait. Is one of the things that'll pass by. If anything, it saved us money for not going out for drinks and and going out for movies and stuff. But
oh fuck yeah!
But what did it do? So
oh fuck yeah!
Here we are now. This segues into the next section of your podcast. Is so as we say, support the little guys, right? Support the mom and pop groups and all these stuff and all these. I don't know how any of these people can do these brick and mortar companies anymore in these small towns and stuff, because they're up and down. They close because they can't sustain it. Why? Because what did they do? They shut everybody down. You had to go to Walmart, Costco, or the big box stores. They kept them open. Well, that were non-essential. So all of us went broke, and then we had to take the CEBA loans to try to keep our businesses open, and then successfully, bankrupt them anyways. And now everybody's owing billions of dollars in CEBA loans and stuff. So, so where I went after that Alberta Unity project, I ended up building that and branding it, marketing it. And I said, you know what, with what I got going on here with this lawsuit, I can't afford to do this. I got to go back to the oil and gas industry. Well, one of the individuals there had mentioned, well, you can't go back to the industry, Chad. We got you covered. I said, well, I need something, and obviously in writing to say this, because I can't just rely on, we got you covered. So I got him on video saying, Chad, we got you covered. Don't go back to the industry. But don't put your remuneration value as much as your oil and gas industry. That's fair. So I put it as half, and I sent him an invoice, this board of an invoice, plus also a comprehensive strategic marketing plan to help build this this project from 15,000 people to 300,000 people by marketing to them. And they didn't like my invoice and refused to pay. So here I was for half a year not working I had to take a mental leave of absence in June of 2021 from the TMX because I got sued by a political party, and I went through all summer fighting this, and then built this other project to the end of the year. And I was on my dog's looking at another dog. He's like looking at another dog. He's gonna start barking. But I went right to the end of the year, and I was in a Santa suit. I was in a Santa suit on the corner of Gates and Red Deer, promoting Alberta Unity Project, a project that I had helped build, and I wasn't getting a freaking dime. So we got them in emails stating, take everything that I had and rebrand and remarket it to Alberta Prosperity Project. They fucking stole all my data. Again, I'm like, holy shit. So here I got fucked over twice. So this is where the heavy depression kept setting in, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like, I'm a guy that's wanting to help out and make things happen, but am I not deserving of getting paid for fucking the work that I'm doing or the value that I'm giving? Should I have to feel like an ass and say, please, more soup, sir? If I can have some money for what I'm building and offering, it's ignorant, but also it's a valuable life lesson on having things in contract before doing them. Like, I build websites for a living as well as on my side, but when people ask for, I'm an opportunist as well. So I own myoilers.com, myflames.ca.com, like all this stuff. And I'm like, shit, what, for an opportune part of my Oilers, well, I could build that website into something where it's a fan-based website, and you could have season ticket holders selling their season tickets on that
There you
website,
go.
verified season ticket holder website. Because yes, you can go to edmontonoilers.com and buy your season tickets there. You can go to Ticketmaster and resell them for a fucking huge freaking price of whatever they're going to charge off you. Or you can sell it on Facebook. But how many times have you heard from people buying shit off Facebook that got scammed? So if you built myoilers.com and you had it for season ticket holders and had them buy in on there and had them verify themselves, just like they do on any verified sites like OnlyFans or whatever, you got to verify who you are and blah, blah, blah. So but once again, do I have the time or the money to make it happen? No. So I sit on these domains. It's just a mock website right now, but it looks pretty cool. I built a logo and all that shit. But where I'm going is I have 286 domains, and where I've learned is how to build, brand, and market myself. So when I see people and opportunities arise, I will grab those websites and offer them up for them and give them the ability to hire me to build their websites. An average website, is about $3,000 just as a starter, and they can go up from there. But the thing is, you can buy these websites or these website builders. You can do it yourself, but it takes time. You got to get more invested in that. So you either buy some or these bigger companies that you can pay, but they're going to put you in the queue that they'll put you, we'll fix your website up next week, Thursday at this time and this time. With me, I have a small clientele that I can boom right now in fucking 2 minutes and change whatever you want. So I've built many websites for many clients, and on a whim building that, and I've made some good money on it. But where to finish that up, where I was with at the end of that year of 2021, I was freaking devastated. I was depressed. I was down the fucking gutter. I didn't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with my life. Now I'm trying to get back out the oil and gas industry again to get some work because I just about lost my house. I was 40 some $1,000 behind because of that fucking that lawsuit. They just about
That's
bankrupt.
nuts.
They just about and you know, do you as a man, as a pride, you put a GoFundMe, because you're going through some hard times. How do you market yourself? Hey man, I'm trying to, I'm just about out of my house. I've helped a lot of people get over their struggles and stuff, and I've donated myself to the cause, but I felt embarrassed, defeated as a man, as a person that some people seen that I was, this big oil field dad Chad guy, but now he's fucking losing his house and selling him. I just about lost it all and lost my family with it, because it was either snap and get out of it, Chad, because there's times where my wife has been, it was, what are you doing today? Are you going to let it beat you? Are you going to sit in here and fucking and you can't do fuck all laying in bed sleeping all day, because tomorrow's problems are still going to be there. So you had to man up, and some days are good, some days are bad, and some, I had to go to doctors, I had to go to psychiatrists, I had to do a lot of this stuff, because who in the hell would they basically told me to get the fuck out of politics and don't come back. And I won't ever go back. I will hate politics. I don't even know if I want to vote anymore, because it doesn't even matter, because by the time, and I've said this before, by the time that we vote, it's already been decided in the East because of proportional representation. So what's the point? Sure, we can all be blue here, but it ain't going to change the fact that we're still going to be a fucking red country. So, and what are we going to do about it? So either a lot of people are selling all their stuff and moving south, getting the hell out of Canada, like my parents have. I don't have any family up here anymore. So they've all moved south. And I think maybe that's the next chapter of my life here. I'm 43 years old here, and the next 10 years is either A, try to salvage and live in a country that I love, or a province that I've born and raised in, or B, sell all things and cut my losses and get the hell out of here and try and live whatever there is left in a country that may not have the best standards, but be affordable, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, the thing is after that was all said and done, one of the individuals that was behind me on a lot of my was going to back us a large sum of money for this Alberta Uni project. He was a former CEO of Trinidad Drilling.
Oh shit!
So his name was Michael Heyer. He's a good friend of mine. I told him about a lot of my stuff was going on, and he says, "Chad, you're a fucking talented individual." He says, "You got a lot of things on the go." He says, "But fight the battles that you can only win, and leave the battles you can't." That's how he wins. And he says, and stick to one thing you got. You got Oilfield Dads. Oilfield Dads was built up. You've built and branded and marketed yourself as such. Was Oilfield Dads successful? Yes, it was. Was it profitable? No, it wasn't. Was it meant to be profitable? I tried, but it was hard to say, like I said, to get money from people that didn't have nothing. So that wasn't really, that was not my initial goal of Oilfield Dads. It wasn't initial of try to make money here. Here's a big money thing, because we were all fucking broke. We were all trying to find a work. So what it worked into was helping people advertise their small businesses and themselves into my audience, which if I help you fill your bucket, it fills my bucket. So at the first little while, I was very protective of who could advertise or who could post in my group, because what did it serve for me? Because then in the world, everybody is about themselves. What is it in it for me? What is in it for me? Well, if I ain't getting paid for anything in this, what am I getting out of it? Well, can I get at least some recognition? Can I get some hashtags? Can I get this? Or can I, a code off of that? But, but then it starts to evolve bigger than that. It's like, hey, you know what? It will come back around. Hey, man, I seen Dick Frost and Oilfield Dads page. I never knew him before. I've seen him on this. You know what I mean? Or you seen a hashtag, whatever. This is how it all goes about. So when I had mentioned Rig Kings to Michael Heyer, he was he was curious about it. And I'll dabble into this a little bit. Rig Kings is a mobile game. It's a game that I'm building, and I'm passionate about. And I figure, you know what? The only one that's going to fuck me on this is myself, because I'm the one that's in control of this, right? I'm the one that's the sole owner of it. I am selling shares in this, by the way, but the thing is where I'm at is in the development stage. As a software developer, I had to buy or to hire a software developer, and he does source coding and stuff, and I can't just steal coding from other games because it's a licensing issue. So they have to build the code. So I hired this software developer to build it. And what you have to do is obviously raise funds to be able to build this. And I don't have that kind of funds. So this is where I'm raising funds. So I went down through the States and I built myself, and I actually started Rig Kings back in 2016. So I was right about the same time when I built Oilfield Dads, but I just got the name and I had the idea in my head and I just put it on the back burner because nobody had money then anyways, and I was building Oilfield Dads. So it's a multi-purpose deal. So with the concept of Rig Kings is you're going to download the app for free, and you're going to be able to drill 3 wells, one in Alberta, one in BC, and one in Texas. There's going to be a one in South Dakota as well. That's 4 wells, but I'll tell you. So the first well would be a single well. The second would be double, and a single, third, triple. The first well you're going to be able to drill. So when you're going to come down through the screen, you're going to see maybe the drill stem will come down from right here. You're going to drop it in the collar. So you're going to drop in the collar 10 times. You're going to drop it down every 10 seconds. It'll come down and click into a collar, and you have to guide that one into it. You get down to the bottom of that first well, you get a $250,000 well bonus, and you move on to the next well. So now you're starting on your double rig or double, and it'll tell you, do you want to upgrade your drilling bit? Well, your drilling bit is a standard. It could be a Weatherford, it could be a Smith bit, it could be whatever bit you want, right? But it's going to have a little option on the side there to drop which 2-3 bits you want. It'll make you drill down to the bottom faster, but that's the whole part of the game. Is to get to the bottom the fastest. So the TD. Yeah. So you get down to the bottom of that one, you get a $250,000 well bonus as well. You go to the third well. The third well is going to be a triple. Once again, you're going to be able to upgrade your bit to a diamond bit or whatever hell you want it to be for $75,000, $100,000, because now you got some kitty in your change, right? You're going to get down to the bottom of that well. It's going to prompt you to say, hey, do you want to go for the gusher, or you might end up with a duster? Well, 60% of the algorithm will tell you now will let you become the gusher, and you'll open the game up for $3.99. You buy it, and now you'll get $1 million well bonus. So now you have $1.25 million or such in your kitty to buy well licenses to open up your map. So now you can start with an old drilling rig out of wood. You can. All these are micro transactions that you can have inside the game. Now you can add more stems for $2.99 if you want. You can every time that you get down into the collar without hitting the sides, it's going to be like a cross hashtag. So you come down, if you don't bump the sides, if you get in there 10 times, they'll bring up a bonus wheel. You can spin it and you get maybe gold coins or more stems. Oh, am I there?
There you go. You're back.
So you get gold coins or you're back. Gold coins or more stems or brand new bit or what have you, right? So them are the in-app bonuses that you get. So this will allow you to obviously upgrade your derrick from maybe a roughneck to a iron roughneck, or upgrade your rig from a diesel electric to a natural gas, carbon credits, the whole works. You build into this. And I've had safety companies come in and want to be part of my game, because where you're going to be able to do is, it's the escapism is what we're at. So if you ever play Candy Crush or Clash of Clans, this is really where I was thinking is Clash of Clans.
I'm playing Last War right now.
Are you? So with these games, they're fun. They're escapisms, right? So my wife plays Candy Crush all the time, and she's, I don't know, level 14 million or whatever, right? But she, or Mario Kart for $6.49 a month. She plays Mario Kart, $6.49 a month for Mario Kart, but that's her fun, and whatever it is. But Rig Kings,
is it on the phone?
Yeah, She
She
plays
plays
Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart on the phone for
Yeah.
$6.49. That might be worth it. I'd do that. But
Right.
right now, I'm very patient. Right when I'm playing Last War, you see the Last War advertisements all over TikTok and Instagram when you're watching your videos. Right, and for a long time there, Last War, when they were showing them, when you download the game, that wasn't what the game was at all.
Oh
Right,
yes.
they were just trying to get you. But now someone actually created the game, and I've been playing it, building my bases up and stuff like that. And once a month, I'll spend $10 on the game. Right? I'm like, you know what? I wasn't gonna do it at all, but I'm very patient. If this takes like a day and a half to upgrade my base,
Yeah.
or if I dump in $3, it'll upgrade right now.
Right
I'll
away.
wait the day and a half.
Yeah,
I
I'm not.
work in the oil patch. The oil patch has taught me one thing: patience. I can wait for hours for no reason at all.
I don't know about you, man. I'm not patient that way. I need it now. I'm a impulse buyer. I spent
Mm.
$6,000 on Clash of Clans, freaking building up all my armies and stuff, and then we're ready to war and we lose, and then all of a sudden we got to war again, but we got to wait an hour and a half. I'll gem everybody so they can up their freaking army so we can go war again. Like,
Did you say
man,
you spent $6,000 on Clash
I
of
spent
Clans?
$6,000 and I deleted the fucking thing. Yeah, because it's like,
Man,
holy shit.
wow. I had the Jurassic Park game where you build the Jurassic Park. I
Yeah.
probably spent a good $200 on the app, and then I lost interest in it within like a couple weeks. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. So now, if I'm investing money into something, man, I'm gonna play it now. I'm not gonna delete it. I've been playing Last War for a while, man. With Last War is pretty cool. I'm if I have one more guy attack my base in the middle of the night when I'm asleep and can't do anything about it, I will find out where Buddy's from. I'm coming for him, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
tired of waking up in the morning and all my guys being dead that I just spent all day, leveling
Building up.
up. And yeah, yeah. And now I got a coin vault. They got a coin vault little thing option, and you can level up the coin vault every time. And every
Yeah.
time your base gets attacked, they steal all your resources, right? If you're not there. So now I got a coin vault where, okay, it protects this much of my coins every time I get attacked. I'm
Yeah.
slowly building that up every day, right? And oh man, like, yeah,
Well, it's
I'm
addictive,
so mad.
right?
Every
It's
morning, what's
addictive.
that?
It's
Yeah,
addictive.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
know, the thing with
for
these
sure.
games is it's your escapism, it's your fun. So with Rig Kings, what I'm building is you be able to be your own oil baron. So you can have now multiple rigs going on. And the great thing about it is the COEC now, it used to be the CAODC, the drillers
Yep.
contractors. They have a map of all active drilling rigs in North America, right? And you can look on there. It is open source. You can see every old well site out there. You can go on Abadata. Abadata is another program. You can buy it and you can download and you can see every drilling well that's been in since 1947 or whatever. So I can implement that in the back end of my game. So if you're an old guy that drilled on Command 9 in 1996 or whatever up in the Hinton on the Willow Road, you can go right back on that well and it'll show the formation that you drilled on and how long it took, and you can drill on that well again with an artificial simulation drill, right?
That's
And the thing
cool.
is, right? So you're like, oh man, I'm drilling. Or this is where I kind of was talking to you before. It's like you could be drilling that well that you're on right now, well, drilling that well on the game, right? So,
Yeah.
and the whole greatness thing about that is that with these microtransactions and stuff, it allows you to build your wealth up, but also your ability to now move online. So Clash of Clans, when I said that, is a $10 billion game. And with the mobile gaming industry is $136 billion industry. Well, you combine it with a multi-trillion dollar industry, oil and gas, it's a win-win. So when I looked at the market resource, the research of it, there's only a handful of oil and gas games. There's one called Big Oil Well Clicker. Now, if you download Big Oil Well Clicker, and this is not something for them, but maybe it is, all it is a pump jack and two tanks in the background. And all you do is go like this, tap, 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 tap. And the pump jack goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And it fills the tanks of oil. That is it. And once it gets to $80 a barrel, you sell it. And that game makes millions of fucking dollars a year, Dick. That's it.
Holy
That's all it
shit.
fucking does. I'm like, holy shit, it's just stupid. You know, like these simplicity games are making because of the in-app purchase, just like somebody message you up here, man, shave your mustache for $2,000. There's people out there that will fucking pay that kind of cash just for fucking escapism, you know, just to push a
Yeah.
button, You know, like it's funny here. I seen a TikTok where a buddy had that vibrating gun and he's on his finger tapping the, you know, on whatever to get it out going good. But where I'm at with Rig Kings is I'm selling shares with it now. I'm building it for $1 a share. So if you go to rigkings.ca, this is a plug, rigkings.ca, you can see my website I built. You can look at all the different tiers and what I'm building and what I'm about. You can see my mission statement of what I'm trying to build. And this is for if we would have spent $1,000 or even $100, even $100 on Bitcoin back in 2009 or 10, where the fuck would we been? It was nothing. Nobody got fuck Bitcoin. What the fuck is this? Same with Rig Kings right now. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a invest in $100. If you invest in a fucking dollar, I'll tell you how to be a millionaire. Give me $1. You put a fucking dollar in that game, Dick. For $1, you get. And the thing is when you go to that website and you invest anything over $2,500, you have to sign a non-disclosure or a small business risk assessment where it says that you're investing over $2,500 and it's high risk. You may not get it back. However, it's going to take some time for this game to get built, and it's been 2 years in the making. And I tell you, there's been some hurdles because I didn't know how hard it would be to be able to build and actually raise funds. Because 99% of the people out there want to see you fail, and that's
true. That's very true.
Everybody wants to see it because why? Because they didn't think of it first. Secretly, there's somebody out there watching your podcast again. Fuck, look at this fucking asshole. Look where he's at. You know, like fuck, I couldn't do that. I don't like this guy. Same with Oilfield Dads, or same with, you know what? You go out there and spend $100 on a tank of gas, or $100 for go out spend for your family at dinners at fucking McDonald's, for crying out loud. But you tell me you can't put $100 or $50 into a game? What are you getting out of it? What's in it for me? Well, you get $50 worth of shares, is $100 worth of shares, because that's what I'm going to give you. And I'm going to give you a blue certificate there for some blue collar certificate. Says you got $50 in blue in shares and Rig Kings. You never know, 5 fucking years down the road, that some bitch might be worth $5,000. Yep. There's a multiple little eggs that we just talked about in your basket. Multiple sources of revenue. You know, put that little bit, $100 to give a shit. You know, there's no minimum in there where a guy can invest it, and it doesn't go into my bank account. That's where I'm trying to see a lot of these people. It doesn't go into my bank account where I can go uptown and buy a fucking slush or a burger with it. It goes into a trust account, and a trust account for Rig Kings is set up by lawyers, and it's set up by a board of directors that goes in there. All that money goes in there to feed the software developer. And that software developer, what I got to do is raise a certain amount of money. That way I can have a meeting with them, 90-day look ahead, so I can sit down and this is what I want to see. And this is how much I've raised, so how much I can afford to pay you to move forward on the game. So when people say, how's the game going, Chad? Well, it's going, but I still need to raise funds. And if the more funds I can raise, the faster it's going to come, right? And
what's the number? What's the magic number we need to get to to see the game?
You'd be surprised. It's $750,000
for a game.
For the game, yes. For that plump. Now, put that into perspective. Clash of Clans raised $750,000 for pre-seed. Okay. Now for pre-seed. Now you got to think about it. That's not that much. If you look at for how much do we make in a year for oil and gas? 100,000, 200,000, 150,000, right? So you look at how many guys would be working on the game, even if they're $50,000 a year. These software developers or graphic designers, so it's really not that much if you think about it. It's not just it's a big number, but when you spread it down into the programming, the cost of the software, the cost of the time for the people to work on it, the graphic designers, the software designers, the music, the editors, all that shit, it goes down there. It comes down to pretty bleak. So the first year was 750,000. The second year they raised 16 million. The third year they raised 160 million. The fourth year they raised 4.3 billion. And why is that? Clash of Clans, 4.3 billion. Why? Because it evolves. So right now it's just to get it in your hand. It'd be $750,000. I got to raise this $250,000 for the software developer alone. That doesn't include the graphic design and the blah 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 and the marketing of the game. I may have to hire a guy like Dick Frost here to promote Rig Kings down the road for, you know, a couple 100,000. You never know, right?
Hey, man. Hey, I'm
Right.
all ears, bro. Hey,
So this, you know,
we talked about that already about, like what a video idea I could have done, I could do for that, right? And hey, I'm all about it, man. You say when, I'm there.
and that's the great thing about it. So the thing is when you watch, so if you've obviously played Clash of Clans or seen it, the commercials, you've seen the video trailers and stuff, right? And they're like, holy shit, that looks like a fucking wicked game, and blah, you know, and or even Angry Birds, for crying out loud. Look at the marketing that they put into that. You know, like
Angry Birds got a movie.
right? Exactly. So the thing is if you're going to go watch a movie, what's the first thing that you're going to do? You're going to watch the trailer. And if the trailer's any fucking good, you're going to go watch the movie, right? So if I say Rig Kings is ready to go out, but I have no advertising and I have nothing, I have to build the mini trailers, and that's going to cost a lot of money to build these trailers. And then build the trailers and then market them trailers and put it out there. I can't just put it out there a little bit, a little soft. It's got to be pushed out there. And the only way I can push it out there is be high influence marketers. You know, whether or not it be Ryan Reynolds, fuck, maybe if I can get a hold of him or somebody, you know, like somebody of that kind of clout to push it out there to make this happen. Because I know I myself being Métis, I tried to go for funding. So there's certain government grants you can go for too, and I've applied, but the difference is that I can't get these grants because it's not a minimal viable product, which means it's not in my hand yet to play. So they won't be able to give me any money. So I've tried to go on audition on Dragon's Den, and once again, Dragon's Den would say the exact same thing as Shark Tank. What are your sales? Well, there's no sales yet. Well, then I'm not interested. Nobody's interested in something if there's no sales in it. Or what's in it for them? What's in it for them? If it has no sales, I'm not interested. I'm not going to invest in something that has no profit or something. However, that's why you're selling shares to blue collar people like you and me for $1 a share to buy in on this so you can have a piece of something. Yeah, man, I fucking invested in Rig Kings, you know, what, 2-3 years ago, you know, $2,500 or $500. And holy shit, look at it now. That freaking stock had come up, you know, and it finally come out. And now my $500 has turned into $50,000, right? It all depends on what you put in. It's not, I'm not going to promise you a millionaire, but you know what? It all depends on how we strategically market this. And it will come, because this is what I'm building. This is my dream, and I can only, and I'm pushing on it as much as I can, and I can only go so far with the funds that I have. So of course, sometimes, you know, right now it's right now what I'm doing right now is promoting the game and promoting the ability for you guys to get in on it on a early stage, to throw a couple bucks in it and have your, and what you can do is when you do that, you are able to download an app called Carta, CARTA.com, Carta, and it is it's an app where it shows, I give you a link and you can go in and you can see your portfolio and you can see how many shares you got and in the market cap and all this stuff. It shows that way you have that. Plus you also get your blue certificate of shares that gets mailed to you of what you want. Right. So this is this isn't a scam. This will never go away. This is something that is getting built as we speak. And with that being said, one of these days it's going to turn into the next biggest thing. If a game that goes like this, click, 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 big oil well clicker, makes $1 million a fucking year. Come on, man, right? A guy that's an oil field dad that has, you know, a following, did have a following of 28,000 people, an oil field dads. And you know, and my I made one song on YouTube, was 30,000 people viewed it. And I was like, holy shit, and that was a raw and cutted one. I think I might have a little bit of push and some friends that can help push this out, but also the ability to once again support the little guy, not the big box guys. You're going to go fucking the Cineplex Odeum and spend $100, or you know what? I've had some buddies that just weren't, you know, my really good best friends didn't want to put any money in because they don't want to break that. They feel it's, I don't know if they're too scared or think it's not a business partnership. You're just, if I were selling fucking, you know, bottle caps, for crying out loud, you know, going down to the farmer's market selling freaking necklaces. You're telling me you won't buy a necklace for $5 from me? That's kind of ignorant. You know what I mean? It's $5. You know what I mean? Support a guy. I'm not asking you to fucking, you know, you're not going into business with me. You're not going to lose money. You're supporting somebody. So How many times do you fucking tip the damn pizza man delivery guy, 18% because you got to? I'm fucking
Hey man, shout out to the pizza guy though. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
Exactly. They're
fucking
hustlers.
guy brought that pizza, like maybe not on time, but the guy brought the pizza and it was hot. Thank
Yeah.
you for delivering that shit. Here's like $10.
Where are we going? Shout out for Panos or Domino's or we're some sponsorship here. Come on, guys.
Red Swan Pizza, man. That Alberta pizza is not the greatest. I don't like that thick shit with all those fucking. And Alberta pizza is expensive. You can go to Ontario. New
Yeah.
York style pizza is where it's at, right? Look it up, New York style pizza. You can go to Ontario, and you can get an extra large box of pizza for $12.99 with wings.
Is that right?
Oh fuck, dude! Go to Red Swan, man. Right now they got personal sized pizza on for $6.
Huh. No,
Yeah.
I've.
You could also with that what I was thinking, push out Rig Kings. We'll be having a podcast with someone and be like, hey, do you play games on your phone? Yeah. Check out Rig Kings, which brings me into, do you know what viscosity is?
Viscosity.
Chad, do you know what viscosity is?
No, I don't know. Viscosity.
The viscosity of the mud going down.
Yeah.
The podcast is sponsored by the Mudman. The Mudman deals in, viscosity. Viscosity is his business, the thickness of the load going downhole. He's taken all the guesswork out of the mud hands job of just holding the funnel and looking and trying to measure by eye, and he's taken all that out and digitalized it and taking all the guesswork out. So the Mudman, www.mudmarket.com for all your drilling fluid and laboratory testing equipment needs. Check out the Mudman. He's got your back.
That's right, exactly.
Yes,
I thought when you said viscosity, I thought it was a company that you were promoting or something. You know of viscosity? I'm like, but yeah, no, it's exactly it. So right now with blue collar shares, we can buy personal. I won't allow companies to buy shares. They can sponsor shares, so they can buy sponsorships. So like I said, you can have a Smith bit or a Weatherford bit. So when you start out the game, what's the first bit you're going to see? Is it going to be a Smith bit? Or is it going to be a Weatherford bit? What kind of bit is it going to be? Is it going to be? Are we going to have what kind of unlockable rig? Ensign? Is it going to be a Neighbors? Is it going to be Trinidad? Is it going to be a Jomax? What is it going to be? You know what I mean? Do you want to be the unlockable rig, guys? Do you want to sponsor for $50,000? You can be the unlockable. You can be the king of the kings, king of the rigs. What kind of rigs do you want?
And get the actual rig number in there, like Ensign 142 or PD 547. Yeah,
100%. You can have that. You can have your rig on there, the one that you're drilling on. You can have that. You could buy your rig on Rig Kings for a certain price and have precision drilling fucking match for donations, what have you. So when I said the safety companies wanted to come in, the element of the game is you can download it for free and just be an escapism for fun. But also, you're going to have them guys that are actual rig hands that'll say, this is fucking stupid. Well, then help me build this as where you want to see it. You can actually then download it for the $3.99 to play it, but also you can have an upgraded version for a premium version for whatever dollars that we figure out, where you can say, okay, my name is so-and-so. You put your information in. I'm a driller. All right. Well, the game has now been adapted to a drilling aspect, and now it's a drilling simulator. Now you're gonna have real world kicks and all this stuff where you're gonna have to actually navigate as if you're actually drilling for real, and then you can actually get your tickets online, so you can have your first your well site supervision or your blow up prevention or blah blah blah. Right? You can be able to get those tickets online through the game through Rig Kings. So you're playing the game, and a lot of these headhunter companies, they're going to be seeing Dick Frost is the top on this fucking hole. He's a Rig King on this hole. He drilled on this fucking rig on his rig, and it won't show what rig you got because that'd be unfair, right? So that's what I mean. So you could drill with an old wooden derrick when it first comes out. It's gonna be a frenzy because you're gonna be drilling with a wooden derrick, or you're gonna have them guys that are like me that are gonna buy the fucking top of the top game or the iron roughnecks and the telly whatever, right? And they're gonna drill down to the fastest and get to the bottom fastest. But you won't know because you'll have to upgrade your rig to be able to beat that guy's rig, right?
Yeah.
He'll be the rig king for a long time until them guys are the driller.
Everybody wants to be the top cheese, right? Everybody wants to beat
Right,
that guy, right?
that
So
guy,
they're gonna be like, oh, that guy, I gotta beat that guy. Well, how do I get to do it? Oh shit, I gotta spend $20. Fuck it, I'm spending $20 because
20
I'm gonna be
bucks.
top dog
Exactly.
now, right? Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna have to use a certain weight of mud, and what kind of mud are you gonna use? Where are you gonna get that mud from? So when I first thing when you buy the well license or you open up the map, you're gonna have a map of where you want to go. Well, what's the first thing you got to do when you drill? Well, you got to build a lease. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have a little dozer come across the screen with somebody's company name on there. That's going to be geolocated to the area where the guy is fucking building. So if say it's in Rocky Mountain House and they have and he wants to put a rig out in Rocky Mountain House, it's going to be Paderni's trucking, right? Their truck, their company logos on there, and you're not going to see Paderni's down in Texas. You're going to see Texas's freaking companies down there advertising. So you don't have to pay $3.99 to get rid of advertising because it's going to be advertised in the game. You're gonna have a hydrovacer on the fucking rig,
Shout out to TCR. Put the TCR truck on there.
Right? You know what I mean? I could have a simple fucking little truck just come across the screen, driving the fucking lease, the fucking TCR. You know what I mean? That kind of simple. I know how much it's gonna cost. I know $1,200 for a constant ad for a year. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff adds up, and that's the whole point. That's where I'll be able to get that sponsorship and be able to get these pre-seed fundings up. So this is going to be huge. The opportunities are endless, and the marketing for the abilities for it. But the thing is, it has to be in hand for somebody to be able to play it first. I do have a simulation of it already, but it is not the best looking because once again, we had to get the coding of it sourced properly to work. It can't be stolen from somebody else's. A lot of these games that I've talked to, oh, we can strip everything from this game and put it over here, but you might get sued because it was somebody else's coding, so this is where you make it yourself, and you don't come across any of these issues. So anyways, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the Rig Kings, man. It's going to be a fucking huge game, and once again, you can go to the rigkings.ca, check it out, and if you want to be a beta tester, there's a pot where put your name in there, and I have emails constantly, people, I want to be a beta tester. That means that you get to be the first to test it before it goes out to the public, and see if there's any kinks in there. Leave a comment what you want to see. What would you like to see what happen? What would you want to see in the game? Something real, something non-fictional or fictional. You want it, you want hookers come out to the site, you know what I mean? Okay, hookers and blow, so they say. What do you want? It's one of those things where I've talked to you before, where we talked about you being in a porta potty playing the game, and then you hear the horn blow off there, and you kick open the door, and you can see the rig in the background. Oh shit, I gotta go make a connection, right? You put your phone away, and you gotta fucking run out there. Yep. Or the driller, or the consultant sitting in a shack with his feet on the desk, and he's looking out his window, and he's got the rig there, but he's playing right now, right? So he's actually drilling on his well right now on his phone. He might be able, you never know. This might be able to be one of those games where it can be so simulative to the effect that you can mimic what's going on the rig right now, and he can actually be ahead of where they're going into formation, right? And you guys, you slow her down here. He's gonna this next formation. I already tried it, run into this RPM with this mud, and we ain't gonna be able to have her. So maybe slow back, or I don't know. That's down the road, but first thing is I want to get it in people's hands.
It's gonna be a lot of fun anyway.
I think so.
Oh hell yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun, that's for sure.
And the thing is, the game is going to be built by us for us. Don't think it's just going to make me money. It's going to make you money as well. And it'll be credited to have your name in on the game as well. Dick Frost, doesn't have to say how much you've donated or bought for games, but Dick Frost is entertainment or whatever, podcast, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it'll have one of your freaking stations going on in the background. We can listen as you're drilling, There's endless.
Shit. That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? You're sitting there drilling all the way anyway. I can have some stupid little music in the background, or we can listen to a podcast in the background, because how many times are you driving? This game will allow you to drill, but also leave the game app, and it'll still automatically drill for you. And then when you come back in, you can make your connection. It'll automatically make your connections while you're away, so when you're sleeping. so you can constantly keep that realism of the game. Also, it's one of those things that you can be in control of it, or you can be all automatic, and you're going to have to let a lot of it become automatic, because once you open up the game, you're going to have multiple rigs on the go. And this is the part where it's going to be fun, is that it's not just you drilling. The online world will kick in. That's where that 4.3 billion that Clash of Clans had raised is for the online world. Now all the servers and all that shit that they have to keep the updates. So now it's not just I'm the driller, Dick. You're going to be the Derrican. Now when you log into that game, into my rig, you're up on the fucking monkey boards, and now you're putting it in the fucking, you're pushing buttons to put it in the fucking the collars, man. Or maybe you're the mud man, right? And you're down below mixing the mud, or you're the roughneck and you're putting the tongs. Like there's so many aspects and different angles a guy can do.
That's why it's so expensive too.
Right, exactly. So
there's a lot to it.
$750 is a drop in the bucket to make things happen to where it's in your hand. And then after that, when the guys buy for $399 to play it, if that one game is making $1 million, this is going to be a multi-million-dollar game.
Hell yeah!
And I think having the right people involved with it, and like I say, it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars from somebody to invest in. It doesn't even take $2,500. It takes $1. $1. Throw $1 in, make it happen. That's all it is. And I don't go into my company. Don't go into my account. It goes into Rig King's account, and it's all accounted for, and it's all secure. It's all in a trust account. So,
how close are you to hitting that 750?
You know what? It is not that far off that you think. So for 2 years I've been working on it hard, and I've sold my truck. I've sold a lot of things. I've talked to you about supposed to losing my house for the political aspect, but I was able to go back to the industry and save it. But I realized I didn't need my office trailer. I sold my office trailer, and I wish I had not. I regret it, because it seems like that was my muse. It was my sanctuary. I could go in there and get all my work done. I think a lot of you have seen a lot of my podcasts, and my stuff are not podcasts, my Zooms, I guess, or toolbox talks I've done in that office. It was my space, is my oasis. I got a lot of work done, and it's so hard right now because I don't have that. And I'm sitting on my porch in the backyard, and all my stuff is in the garage, and I got to, kids, I got to wait a few more years till one more kid is out of the house, and then I can finally have an office in the house. And then maybe have my office back, but
a room to walk naked around.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's coming, guys. The 750 is not too far out of reach, but you're supposed to put a high goal up there too, because sooner or later, like I mentioned, there's some key people that put in quite a bit of money, to help get this going, because they said, Chad, I like what you're doing, and you know what? When you talk to the right people about it, they invest into something like that. So, and you know what? It's something, like I said, it's not a get rich quick scheme. So it's something that I will be able to push forward and sell, because I'm committed in. It's not affiliate marketing. However, I can say this here right now, is that if you know anybody that you want or can get money into, I would most definitely give you commission off of. So if somebody's invested $100, then I can give you 20%. There's $20. But $20 for shares. You know what I mean? You don't have to leave any cash. If you don't want the cash in your pocket, you put a cash in there. So hey, so you get somebody that's invests $100. Well, then I'll put $20 worth of shares in your account for you. You know what I mean? There's an incentive there for anybody, and that not just goes for you, for anybody that's watching this podcast. If anybody, gets anybody to download or invest in $100 or $5 or whatever, you know what I mean? 20% is what I'm willing to give to put in for shares into the game, and that goes into the game play itself. So say if you have, I don't know, say if you put $10,000 in the game to invest in my game, into our game, you will have $100,000 of in-play credit to start building your game. So now, when you download the game for $3.99 and you've already invested $10,000, you already have sitting in your little kitty $100,000 of in-store gameplay to upgrade your rigs and stuff to get the jump on there to become the best.
That's great. That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So there's some little things I can do
That's
what I
pretty
want.
crazy. Yeah.
So shit, I can if you got a company you want to advertise, check out rigkings.ca. You put in your information, what you want to see, you're interested, man. It's going to be huge. It's some of the things I've been hesitant to come on for quite a while because you don't want to oversell it yet. And I'm a big believer of trying to keep things close to your chest until it's out there and then pop it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like I mentioned, 99% of the people want to see you fail, and if I'm a long ways there, and what till I'm there, but also it's reachable. It's one of those where I know what it takes, and the hurdles that I've come across or reasons why I had to stop is because I haven't done this yet. You know what I mean? So I'll go so far on something and then realize, boom, I hit myself a brick wall. I'm like, shit, I gotta really. Why can't I go past this right now? Well, because I haven't done this yet, and now I got to stop and step back and take that 20,000 foot view of what is it going to take? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Sometimes supporting building something isn't about money. It's about word of mouth, spreading it. That's the best thing sometimes you can do. Network, man. You just said that Velocity, that guy. Maybe that Mudman knows a guy that would be interested in throwing a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 into the game.
Maybe the Mudman is the guy.
100%. You don't know, right? Maybe that connection might just connect with that dot, man. That looks like a pretty cool game, or sounds like it. So I have an executive summary I can send people on my pitch. I got pitches here that I pitch all the time. Better than what I pitched here today because it wasn't really that set up to have my background and show the actual presentation of what it's going through. But it's all about marketing and who you know. And I've had a lot of people that have built games that are interested in help me moving it forward but also there's cliff investing as well. So if somebody wants to help build it and they're a software developer or graphic designer, there's cliff investing. And I didn't even know what the hell cliff investing even meant. As you can be part equity stake into the company, but also a certain percent. So if you work for 2-3 years, you get another 2 or 3% into the company, right? It all depends on how much you want to invest in your time and whatnot. But also, I've learned that you can't, when you outsource things, outsourcing them to a point of subcontractors is only so much you can do, because what happens is if somebody quits, I can't get it anymore, right? So that's why you have to go to the bigger companies that do all the in-house stuff. That's why the software developer I have is quite expensive, because they do all this. But it doesn't mean that I can't get some graphic designer to build me a character and I can send it in and this is the guy we're going to use. So yeah, man, this is something here that I've working hard to achieve and hopefully overcome here soon and be financially set for one day. So what else you got on the go here, Dick? I know I've got 5%.
Hey man, one day is coming sooner than I think you think.
One day is coming soon. I totally agree with you that it's going to be a bright and shiny day. I'll show you a little bit of my back.
Absolutely.
Used to be in my office.
Let me put this, change that. All right, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I built show you a little bit of offset in here. I got the wife's garden here. Nice day out here, so I got to come back inside. Looks like my battery's going to die, but I don't know how long you wish to continue on, my brother.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, there we go. We're back. So yeah, you said you got 5% left?
Well, I got 5%. I'm actually just plugging in here right now, but we can wrap up with whatever and
all right, man. So I usually like to wrap the pod up with one last question, and it's Mount Rushmore has 4 of the most influential people on the rock, right? If you could have your own Mount Rushmore, 4 people that influence you or inspire you to be who you are, who Chad Miller is, the oil field dad, Ray King, who would be the 4 people on your Mount Rushmore and why?
Well, it's got to be my dad for one. throughout all these years, the guy's figured out what he's worth. A lot of the times I hear him, I hear him constantly, even when I don't talk to him. I hear him in ways of audio hallucinations, I guess, in a sense, so to speak. Is kind of weird, but it's one of those things. It's nothing bad.
No, I get that.
It's constantly in you do something wrong, you shouldn't be doing it, or you do something right, you're good on you got to keep doing this, and what are you doing? So he's one of my top. As far as the influencers I've seen is Gary Vaynerchuk is another one. He's a
Gary V.
Gary V. There's Grant Cardone is another one. Follow. And geez, I don't know. One more, I guess, is I gotta say myself, because you got to push for yourself.
There you go. Hell yeah.
If you don't look at yourself as want to be being top, then what are you in it for? You have to see yourself as just as valuable and as inspirational as every one of those. And I've learned a lot from all of those, but also I still have a lot to go, and that's not being proved that I'm any better than anybody else. But if you don't hold yourself to a higher account, then what are you doing?
Absolutely. Hey, I go home on days off in like 2 weeks. My wife comes here this weekend actually to visit for Father's Day. She's driving the 8 hours. I very much see myself on top. So
yeah,
oh yeah,
more ways than one.
In more ways than one, like, hey, I'm gonna finish first on that podium. Here we go.
You ain't first, you're last.
That's right. Oh shit, Chad, man, thanks for coming on, brother. This has been a lot of fun. I'll have to get you back on when Rig Kings comes out, man, to talk about the launch of the game and to promote it more, and absolutely, man.
I really appreciate the opportunity to come on there, Dick. I've been, like I said, here, I'm a big fan of yours, and keep on keeping on, man. You're doing awesome, and appreciate you more ways than you know. Just keep doing you, and like I said, these little interviews and podcasts where you have it lightens a lot of people's days, and for the long roads ahead, where a guy listens to, you've got nothing other than entertainment and some good. Hopefully, some people have got some value out of listening to me today, and know where to find me. So Oilfield Dads and Rig Kings.
Hell yeah, man. Well, what do we do as oil patch workers and blue collar workers in general? What do we do a lot of? We do a lot of driving, right? And a lot of people listen to podcasts, and so we got around 2,000 consistent monthly listeners on the podcast right now, and oh shit, look at that. You're rocking the Trollco stuff, man. Use code FROST10 to save yourself 10% next time you buy some of that, man.
That's right. I like them. I got a lot of it.
Hell yeah, man. It's, you know what? I don't have it here, but I got a lot of Oilfield Dads hats.
Oh, them are some few and far between now. I gotta stock up here. Them are collector's items now.
I got like 3 or 4, I think, and a bunch of stickers, and man. Yeah,
I got. If anybody wants stickers too, because that's another way is just reach out. My show is a chat at oilfielddads.ca. Email that, and if you want stickers, I can add it to the long list of people that have been wanting stickers for years. So,
hell yeah, man! Hell yeah!
Email me your address, and I'll send you some stickers.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. I really thanks for being along for the ride. This whole podcast has been my baby, and it's been a journey. It's been an incredible journey, and thank you for being on the ride. I think we're 20 episodes away from 100. So we're almost at the 100th episode, and who we're trying to get on for episode 100, Mr. Mike Rowe. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it happens, man. I'm pushing for you. And we'll chat here another time.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, Chad, stay frosty, bro.
Hey, you too. Okay. of this war.